Exercise 324, and I've done 323. We're looking at weighted averages or weighted means, I think they call it. So for 23, it just says in June an investor purchased 300 shares of Oracle at 20 bucks and then purchased an additional 400 shares at 25. Then eventually purchased another 400 shares at $23 per share. And so how do we calculate the weighted mean? And I've actually done it a couple different ways because that's how I do it. I can't even tell you exactly how the book shows you, although I think it might be a little bit more complicated than setting it up here in Excel. So again, I put the information down painstakingly, I guess, but 300 shares at 20 bucks a share, 400 shares at 25, and then an additional 400 shares at $23 per share. And so now I can get what the total cost is, right? Okay, just by taking, it's equal to my number of shares times the share price at that time. Okay, and that gives me the total, and since that formula is going to stay the same basically across there, I can just copy that down. Remember, grab it in the corner, copy it down. Okay, and then I do a total, right? I sum those up. So the total amount of money that I spent on the stock was $25,200, and I do a total over here, okay, sum, and I bought 1,100 shares. So if I want to know then what my weighted mean or my average cost is, basically all I'm saying is what my average cost per share is. It's simply equal to my total amount that I spent divided by the number of shares that I purchased. Okay, $22.91, and you can see that differs a little bit from if I just average the prices because I'm not weighting it by the number of shares that I bought. Okay, another way to do that again would be to enter the data, okay, the shares, okay, but then say calculate what percentage of each we had, right? Okay, so this was 300 shares, which made up 27% of the total shares purchased. Okay, this is probably the more complicated way to do it, but okay, so I have that this is equal to my 300 shares divided by 1,100, and I'm going to hit my F4 key there, okay, and hit enter. So 27.277 or 27.27 of the shares were purchased for $20. Okay, and then I copy that down. Then what I would do is take this times the price that I paid for. So 27.27% of the shares were purchased at $20. Okay, so I just have to say that this is equal to my 27 times my 20. And again, that's going to stay relative, so I drag that down. Okay, and then I simply do a total here, or a sum, and I come up with the same number, an average price, weighted price of $22.91. That's actually very important when you do a cost basis. If you're purchasing shares like that, you may have to do a weighted average cost, figure out what your cost basis is, and ultimately what your capital gains are in order to pay the proper amount of taxes.